Welcome on in to City Ice Pavilion. This is North Park taking on the Long Island Sharks in an 18U AA, maybe exhibition, maybe LIHL game. Unclear on that. The Sharks and North Park, well, the Sharks, I guess, have had a bit of a division shuffle, and so unclear just how much this game counts, but it really doesn't matter because if you've ever met a teenager, all the games matter to them. And so we're going to bring you all the coverage right here on Midnight Sports. 5 minutes on the warm-up clock. Just getting set here from Long Island City. The storm's rolling in outside. But we're going to keep you nice and warm at home with all the coverage here from Queens. The Sharks come in on the back of a heartbreak loss last night out in Peconic, Calverton, New York. And they, though, have recently played the Nassau County Lions just as North Park has. Both teams dropped both decisions to a very impressive Nassau County Lions team by similar margins. And so you'd expect today's game to be intriguing from a viewing perspective. The Sharks have wins over the Hershey Junior Bears by a score of 5-3 and the Great Neck Bruins by a score of 5-2 on the year. And so we shall see what the Sharks are bringing to Long Island City here today. This is our only game of the weekend for North Park. And so sit back, grab a nice warm drink, and enjoy it. We're going to give you an extended look in at the warm-up period here, right on Midnight Sports. right, there goes the buzzer for the warm-up period. Should be 15 minutes coming up on the clock. We're going to get you set with the scoreboard here on your screen. Get that lower third off your screen so we can get ready to get rolling here from City Ice Pavilion. North Park in their home white jerseys. They'll be moving right to left on your screen for the first and third periods. Or your radio dial if you're just listening in to this one. Sharks in their road gray and blue. And, of course, they'll be moving opposite North Park here. Once we get ready to get rolling, can't thank you enough for joining us here today on Midnight Sports. We're going to have all the coverage of this one for you just as soon as it gets rolling. And just a bit of a discussion here for a scoring booth as to what's going to go up on the clock. Currently 25 minutes. We'll get ours adjusted for you, too, once the decision is made on the clock. Like it might, if it stays at 25, that might be EJ rules with 2 halves, but we'll see. The game was not billed as an EJ game specifically, and so could just be working out the kinks in the scoring booth. We'll give you an update as soon as we have one. It'll be Ryan Speaker in net here for North Park, as North Park heads on over to its bench for some last-minute strategy there with Coach Will. Sharks have done the same. Goaltenders just getting set as the discussion continues over in the scorer's booth. We will go ahead and update our clock to match the one in the rink. So it looks like maybe 2 25-minute halves here as we get ready to get rolling. All right, looks like the officials are set. And the scorekeeper appears to be set as well. And so the whistle goes to call the teams onto the ice. We'll see who North Park sends over the boards first to take the draw here. Looks like it'll be Sweeney at right wing, Bigliotti at left, and the draw to be taken perhaps by Meller. It'll be Farrow and Tanoff as the defensive pair. Goaltenders being checked, and we are ready to roll here in the first half of this one. It's a clean face-off win there by North Park. Back to Farrow. He's going to work it up to Vigliotti up the left wing, and he'll dump it into the offensive zone, and giving chase now. Here are the Sharks as they're going to dump it all the way in. Farrow gets body position, tries to wing it over to the far side of the ice. North Park trying to dig it out of the near corner. They do in stride, but the Sharks able to keep the zone. It's a good keep up the right wing momentarily. Vigliotti has it back. He's going to send it all the way across looking for a stick. Was North Park, but icing gets waved here as Sweeney over for the puck. Passes it back to Meller. Sharks pick up far side of the ice. Here come the Sharks. It's a 3-on-2 rush. Early on, the Sharks into the offensive end. They'll shoot in. Speaker blockers that aside, and it's kicked out there by North Park. Ensuing shot goes well wide. Going to be picked up here by North Park on the near side. It's dumped right back in by the Sharks. Tanoff with some speed and the puck, but the Sharks come around. They shoot, screen shot in, still loose, and that one's going to be sticked all the way out. It was a nice play there by Tanoff to get rid of the threat after a couple of shots on goal by the Sharks just a minute into this one. It's North Park now trying to set up and get that puck all the way up and out. Sharks take the pass deep into the offensive end, clearing the net front there was Farrow. It's the Sharks in front. Speaker able to stick it aside, but that rolling puck comes up and is tucked home. And so just like that, 1:20 into this game, it's a goal for the Sharks. After a couple of shots there, it's Sharks 1. North Park nothing. All right, ensuing draw is going to be Tannenbaum at the logo. Keyworth to his left and Grebin to his right. That puck's picked up near side of the ice, filtered up on the near side, dumped all the way in. North Park will give chase. It's the Sharks trying to work that puck up and out. They can only tuck it so far as the point, as North Park fires right back in on it. Sharks now in front of their own bench. They're going to clear this puck all the way to the near side, and that rolling puck is going to find Halpern, who works it up to center ice. Touched forward there by Grebin, and he gives chase. Keyworth lurking in the slot, calls for the puck. One-timer sent in. Shot on goal there by North Park, saved nicely by the Sharks. It's now the Sharks coming back in the other direction. Still the Sharks. They'll dump and chase. That puck dumped down the right side, sits in that far right corner, thrown out in front, and it's picked off there by North Park, who will skate out with it. It's Grebin finding Tannenbaum all the way into the slot, shooting and scoring. It is North Park able to find the back of the net and tie this one up in a hurry. And so a lot of action already in this one as we get rolling once more. It's North Park going back into its own zone. Farrow on the puck, tries to work it up strong side of the ice, looking for a teammate along the glass here. It'll be Farrow again, using the glass, working it up to the right point. Not out just yet of the North Park defensive zone. Sharks will dump in. They send it on net. Speaker takes a swipe at it, and that puck caught up in between the pads after the swipe directed it toward his own pads. 22-23 left to go here in this first half. It's going to be a defensive zone draw for North Park. Puck's dropped, chipped up to the blue line, but not out. Sharks able to hold it in momentarily, and this will be Samosi carrying it forward through the neutral zone, giving chase. It's going to be picked off in the slot there by North Park. They try the drop pass, doesn't quite connect, and here come the Sharks right back in the other direction. Farrell cuts out the threat, works it up right in front of the scorer's booth, and now it's North Park in business, pouring into the offensive end, shot in. That one goes high over the cage. It'll be Samosi trying to feed it up to Farrell on the near side. Puck gets caught at the near half wall. North Park has it back, throws it toward the slot. Nobody home there for North Park. Tanoff, though, had pinched in to try and jam up any break the other way. It's Farrell getting back. That puck ended up being the last thing into the offensive zone there for the Sharks. And so with 21:43, they go offside. It'll be a neutral zone drop just outside North Park zone. Well, this will be Tannenbaum with Sweeney to his right and Vigliotti to his left. It's the Sharks taking that face-off win and trying to send it farther, but Halpern able to clear the trouble. Sweeney to track it down far side of the ice. Jams it into the offensive end. Vigliotti to get it back. And we'll see here what the call is, as it looks like the Sharks may be going to the box. Didn't see them touch the puck. Could have been a delayed penalty, but the official saw it differently. And so this game's tied at 1, just 3.5 minutes in. And it will be North Park going to the man advantage in the early going here. Vigliotti, Tannenbaum, Grebin, Keyworth, and Halpern out there as power play unit number 1. Puck's dropped, one there by North Park. Fired over toward Keyworth. It's going to leave the zone on the bank off the boards. It's Keyworth trying to work that puck up through the neutral zone, but it's going to be dropped in by the Sharks to try and kill off some of this power play of North Park. It's now Halpern with the puck. Works it up the left wing, and it will be Vigliotti cycling it around to the far side. Trying to find some open ice is North Park. Sharks playing an aggressive forecheck here. They pick up the puck. They'll dump it in once more. It's Halpern now on the puck. You may recall USA Hockey changed the rules this offseason, and there's no icing from a penalty-killing team. And so that's why you're not getting any icing calls on the Sharks during this North Park man advantage. It's Grebin all the way in. He's going to dump it to some open ice in the near corner. Meller to try and pick it up there. Sharks on the puck. They'll chip it up to the near half wall. Not out just yet. Nice keep by Halpern. Dump down once more. And now to be Meller on the puck. He jams it all the way around, looking for Grebin. Grebin works that to the far side of the ice. At that far point there, North Park trying to find the slot and a one-timer. They work it to the side of the cage. Tight angle shot, spilled in front and then saved nicely by the Sharks. And so, a couple of shots on goal, nothing more during that sequence for North Park, but still 51 seconds left to go on the man advantage for the home team. Now Kluchek onto the ice here, replacing Vigliotti on this power play unit right now. It's Tannenbaum to take the drop. Tannenbaum works that over toward Grebin. Grebin up to Halpern at the near point. Trying to touch it back down was North Park, eventually able to do so. It's Grebin now firing it across. One-timer, handcuffed Tannenbaum. Couldn't quite get a full stick on it. North Park trying to dump it just a bit deeper. 35 seconds left to go in the man advantage as North Park will dump that puck just a bit deeper in the zone. Grebin has the puck, looks toward Halpern, circles at the top of the near circle, banks it up to Halpern, shoots that in. It's kicked aside by a Sharks defenseman in front. Meller all the way across, trying to keep the puck in the zone. He does. The dump in goes off a North Park man, and now North Park still with Purchase in the offensive end. They get in tight, getting up and face masking that up into the netting with 9 seconds left to go in the man advantage was the Sharks man between the pipes. And so still 5-on-4 for the next 9 seconds here from Long Island City. 19:40 left to go in this first half. And this will be Finkelstein at the dot to take the drop. Clean win up to Farrow at the blue line. Shoveled aside there by Farrow to keep the zone. And the Sharks will fire it all the way across. That puck's going to leave the zone. Oh boy, a big hit over there against the boards. And so we'll get a stoppage in play here as the officials sort it out. North Park trying to protect their skaters. And it looks like all's well that ends well. As the Sharks man will go to the box, as will Vigliotti for North Park. And we'll see what the official call is here on the far side of the ice. No gestures yet. Might just be some discussion between the scorer's booth and the official. We'll see what gets put up on the board here and whether we're going to have 4-on-4 or 5-on-5 or some variation in between. Well, just an explanation going on over at the North Park bench now as the coach is trying to sort out how all the paperwork is getting done. Currently 4 Sharks on the ice. 1 in the box. Could be 4-on-4 or 5-on-5. Looks like they're going to eventually just take one from each team here. And the explanation continues on that far side of the ice. All right, explanation over. As often happens, after some explanations at the bench, no one looks particularly pleased, but in this case, no one seems particularly upset either. And so, 19:25 left to go here in the first half. And there are 2 Sharks in the box, so it looks like it might be a 2-10 called on the Sharks, and then a 2-minute retaliation roughing call on North Park. Don't want to speculate. We'll have to find the official score sheet to find out. But if you've seen it once, you've seen it 100 times. 5-on-5, the gesture to the benches. And so after a somewhat lengthy stoppage here, we're going to get some more 18U AA youth hockey coming up in just a moment, as Samosi will join his teammates on the ice. This will be Tannenbaum at the dot. Grebin to his left, Samosi to his right. Halpern and Kluchek out there as the defenders. Fired in. Deflection carries that up and over the net. Sharks to pick up deep in their defensive zone. Sharks trying to find a way out. North Park all over him on the back check, but the Sharks have managed to do it. They skated all the way into the offensive end, and across comes Halpern to work it up for Samosi. Samosi has Grebin in full stride up the center of the ice. Samosi able to dump that into the offensive end. Gets held there just a touch, long enough for the Sharks to send it up the strong side, and a diagonal pass connects at the logo. Sharks all the way into the offensive end now, looking to set up a shot. They work it over to the near point. They try to pick that far side. Speaker with the blocker save. The Sharks trying to send it just a bit deeper now. All the way across, that puck comes. Farrow first to it. Uses the curved glass and works it up to the neutral zone. The Sharks will have to reset at their own blue line. Tannenbaum gives chase as the Sharks work that back into the offensive end. Speaker out of his cage to try and slow that fluttering puck down. And stopping on a dime on the far side was North Park to work that up and out. Nice play by Halpern there. Sharks will dump in once more. Back for the puck is Farrow behind his own cage. On the forehand, Aiden Farrow is able to work that up all the way through past everyone's sticks. It's going to go to the end line. No icing called there as enough players had a chance to touch it up, but the Sharks break out once again. It's 3-on-3 here for the Sharks into the offensive end. That shot goes well wide of the cage. We're under 18 minutes left to play here in the first half. North Park touches the puck up to their own blue line, but not out. Tannenbaum will turn, has support from Farrow here. Sharks first to it. Some heavy hitting behind the cage. Farrow able to dig that puck up towards Sweeney. Sweeney jabs it on the breakout, finds Finkelstein. Finkelstein all the way into the offensive end. He's 1-on-3, but he has it on his forehand. He shoots it. He hits the post. Oh, it was all iron there for Finkelstein as he was nearly in. Here come the Sharks back in the other direction. They dangle in front. Speaker throws the big glove over it. And so it turns into just a soft shot on goal with 17:27 left to go here in the first half. Shot 7-5 on our board here in favor of the Sharks, but it's been an even game thus far here from Long Island City. Now that puck's dropped, chipped forward by North Park, but not out. Speaker kicks aside the ensuing shot, and this will be the Sharks picking it up, working it up all the way in. Shot in. Speaker able to eat that one up with the chest protector. An old friend there, Matthew Fauci, with the shot on goal. And we'll get another stoppage at 17-17 in this first half. Now North Park, the home team, gets last line change, and they will make use of it here, as this will be Tannenbaum, Keyworth out there as a couple of the forwards, and Grebin completes the trio. It's now North Park working that puck up, but not out just yet. It went off a skate at the blue line, and so Farrow back for it in his own end. Farrow works that puck all the way over to the far side. Samosi tries to spring a man. Headman pass doesn't connect, and icing won't be waived here. And so it'll be a face-off all the way back in the North Park end. Nearly an odd man rush there for North Park. Pass just a little too hot to handle. And so with 16:59 left to go in this first half, this game has lived up to expectations thus far. 8 minutes in, it's been a tight one with some end-to-end action. Clean win by the Sharks. Look out. Shot comes in, deflected up into the scoreboard. We'll do it all over again with 16:55 left to go here in the first half. It'll be a far circle drop. This one's going to come to Speaker's right as soon as the players get set. It's fired just wide of the cage off the face-off win for the Sharks. That puck just sat at the circle for a bit, but it'll be North Park chipping that puck up and out. Samosi corrals it, throws it up, finds Grebin. Grebin's one-on-one, pushed all the way to that far corner. Grebin tries to pull it out of the corner on that far side. It's Samosi tapping it farther for Grebin. Rolling puck's going to find Keyworth, who goes past one man, shoots in. Fluttering puck goes just wide. Tannenbaum, net front, now pours to the end boards to try and pick that puck up. It'll be the the Sharks emerging from that far side of the ice, and Keyworth will pick up at his own blue line. He works it over for Farrow. Farrow on the puck, tries to go point to point there. Samosi pours back in on the back check. He's able to dump it to the end boards, but that puck sits in the North Park zone momentarily. It's now Keyworth going past a man. He finds Grebin. Grebin in a 2-on-1 here with Tannenbaum. Grebin all the way across for Tannenbaum. Shot in, and that puck is saved nicely. Look out, though. We're going to get a stoppage in play here, as it looked like it might have gone off the face mask. And so we'll just get a stoppage for a moment as the one-timer from North Park saved very nicely by the Sharks, and hopefully at no cost at all, as the Sharks netminder just needs a moment. And so we'll pause here on Midnight Sports after the North Park shot. Now, it goes without saying, of course, the safety of the youth hockey players out there paramount. Matters so much more than anything else going on the ice. And credit, of course, to the officials who blew their whistle immediately here, as the coaching staff for the Sharks just out and talking to their netminder. It was a one-timer that came up high and caught the Sharks goaltender right in the face mask. He is up and moving around, speaking with the coaches now, and so after taking a sip of water, looks like he is going to be okay to continue. Coaches and officials satisfied. And he will be okay to continue. And so when we do, it will be 15:53 left to go here in the first half. Shots 9-6 in favor of the Sharks. Of course, that's just our count up here in the booth. And so, in the absence of shots on goal on the board, you'll have to take our word for it. But the best news of all is the Sharks netminder is ready to roll, and so this will be Meller to take the drop. He's got Finkelstein to his right, Bigliotti to his left. That puck kicked forward off the Meller win. Bigliotti pours into the corner after it. Puck sits in that near corner. It rolls to a Sharks stick, and the Sharks are going to be able to skate this up at least to the blue line. Then it's chipped in by Finkelstein, who gives chase. Finkelstein still chasing the puck on that far side. Puck rolls all the way to the near side now. It'll be the Sharks escaping with it with speed. That puck touched just a bit farther. Halpern all the way across. And he's got support from Kluchek on that far side. Sharks with the puck. Look out. They throw it in front. Shot comes in. Speaker with the initial save. And it's kept out by Kluchek after the follow-up shot. Oh, boy. What a save there by Kluchek after Speaker made the initial save. And that puck was floating toward the goal mouth. But in the end, it was North Park keeping it from crossing the line. And so, technically a shot on goal. But Speaker will be chagrined that it wasn't him who saved it. Of course, we all need a little help from our friends. Anyway, this is North Park off the faceoff, working it up through the neutral zone. It's grabbing across, looking for Tannenbaum there. Samosi pours in that right wing. Puck will bounce all the way out to Farrow, though, who's going to work it up toward Tannenbaum. Tannenbaum takes it a little deeper in his own zone to try and buy some open ice. Leaves it there, but it'll be the Sharks picking up. Just a little miscommunication there between North Park players. It looks like, though, no harm, no foul, as this will be North Park breaking out on that far side of the ice. Grabbing all the way up at the offensive blue line, looking for a home run pass. Here comes North Park as Samosi dances around one and then two, all the way into the offensive end. Drop pass connects. Pass all the way across the slot, doesn't. Shot ends up hitting the curved wall, but Farrow able to keep that puck in the zone. And not once, but twice, he does. This one will find a Sharks player as the Sharks escape through the neutral zone. They'll cross the center ice and dump it on in for a line change. Back for the puck is Tannenbaum. Tannenbaum up the left wing, gets the pass back, and he will gain the line and dump on in. Greben fires on the puck in that far corner. It's the Sharks trying to get that puck up and out. It comes off the end boards, and now it'll be Meller giving chase. Meller all the way to the corner with his man. Puck stays in the offensive end here for North Park, but without possession. It's now Vigliotti trying to separate his man from the puck. The Sharks work it up to their own blue line, and it rolls to Halpern at his. Halpern all the way across there for Tanoff. Tanoff on the puck. Skates around a man into the offensive end. Look out. Tanoff shoots, and that one goes up into the netting, all the way into the studio ice on the far side of the arena. And so at 13:31, we have a stoppage in play on the deflected puck out of play. This will be an offensive zone draw for North Park. Puck's dropped, one there by North Park, fired in once more, and a nice glove save by the Sharks man in net. We'll do it all over again with 13:27 left to go here in the opening frame from Long Island City. Puck's dropped, one there by North Park, fired in. It was fluttering, that puck was, but it's another glove save by the Sharks. And a reset once more in the offensive zone for North Park. Meller wins that over toward the half wall. It's Vigliotti now on the forecheck. Puck rolls off a stick. Sharks still have it. They'll break out in the other direction. It's now the Sharks all the way into the offensive end as Halpern will turn for the puck at the end boards. Able to shuffle it around. And coming in for support was Vigliotti, who picks up that rolling puck and throws it up toward the blue line. Not out just yet. Dumped in once more by the Sharks. They'll pick it up in the near corner. Bouncing puck sits in that near corner, fired in, and it's deflected up over the cage. Kluchek able to work that puck up, but not out just yet as Sweeney tried to work it up to the blue line. It'll be the Sharks with a pinballing puck dumping in once more, only so far as Vigliotti. Now Meller in the other direction, all the way into the offensive end. He's on the backhand, throws it in front. Nobody there to touch it home just yet as North Park was still entering the zone. It's now Meller giving chase at the near half wall, trying to work that puck back toward the net front. It's Halpern waiting at the near point, calling for it. North Park just has to dump it in farther. There was no passing lane there. Bouncing puck is going to leave the zone now. And so this will be North Park all the way back for it at their blue line as the Sharks make a partial change. Vigliotti picks up that puck at the logo. He skates around a man all the way into the offensive end. Still going is Lorenzo Vigliotti toward that far corner. It's Samosi now in for support. Sharks able to punch it past a couple of men and throw it to some open ice, but all the way across is Farrow to cut out the threat. Farrow works it right up in front of the camera well here, and it's taken over by Samosi all the way back to his own blue line. He's going to find Tanoff, who works that up toward Finkelstein, and Finkelstein will dump it on in. This is now the Sharks behind their own cage, trying the breakout. Coming across is Farrow to pick up that rolling puck. Works it over toward Tanoff. Tanoff on the puck uses the boards to clear the danger. The Sharks will have to reset all the way in their own end. The Sharks working up to their blue line, trying to get past a couple of men. Now it's a 2-on-1 developing here. It's the Sharks into the offensive end. They hit the crossbar after that puck went up and over the shoulder of Speaker. He might have gotten a piece of it to direct it up onto the crossbar, but the ensuing outcome was the puck up and out of play. And so with 11:27 left to go here in this first half, we're more than halfway through the first half. You do the math. I guess we're over a quarter of the way through this one, and it will be a defensive zone draw for North Park. Far side of the ice as we just try to get some pucks. Well, they're saying it went off the crossbar, and so this has to come out of the zone. And so in the official's opinion, that did not touch the North Park netminder. And that is why we're getting a neutral zone drop here. Puck's dropped. The Sharks will come forward with it. Speaker all the way across. Blockers it to that far corner. It's now Halpern to pick up that puck. Works it over to Grebin. Grebin on the puck. He's going to skate it out himself. Grebin now far side of the ice. Looking for Kluchek there. Puck took a strange hop off the yellow of the boards straight up into the air. And so North Park will reset after the Sharks dump it. North Park up the strong side. Sharks to take over in their own end as we tick under 11 minutes left to play in this opening half from Long Island City. Sharks send it right back in the other direction. This puck's rolling all the way across the end line and should go for an icing. Veteran play there by Tanoff to take a long route toward that puck to buy his team an icing. And so 11:48 left to go here in the first half. And this will be an offensive zone drop for North Park. This is Tannenbaum at the dot. Clean win all the way up to Tanoff. Tanoff loads up, shoots in, and it's frozen nicely by the Sharks man in net. And just like that, we'll do it all over again on the near side of the ice. 10:43 left to go here in the first half. It's North Park trying to work that puck toward the net front. Samosi gives chase at the end wall. Stick lifts his man, but the puck stays right behind the net. Sharks trying to work that up. It hits the Zamboni doors. Here comes Finkelstein trying to send that toward the net front. Samosi back on the puck. Far corner. It's Samosi now dancing around with the puck. Works it up to the point. Tanoff has it there. Back to Samosi. Samosi with some open ice in front of him on the forehand. Tries to shovel it toward the slot. It's the Sharks on a breakout, but they can't get past Tannenbaum. Finkelstein now on the forecheck. He gets taken out of the play there as the puck rolls toward the net, but it's Finkelstein right back on it. He's going to work that up toward the blue line, but he splits the defenders, unfortunately, on a deflection. And so it'll be Farrow throwing this to some open ice. Right in front of the camera well, that puck comes. Sharks pour in. Shot goes well wide. Samosi now onto that far half wall to get position on his man. Sharks shovel it to the near side of the ice. Look out. Shot might be coming in here. It takes a deflection, goes toward the end boards. And the Sharks on a one-timer can't quite connect. Look out. That puck's still thrown in front. And North Park gets a stick on it. Screen shot hits the outside of the iron. And this will now be the Sharks setting up once more. But first to it is Tannenbaum. It's Tannenbaum on the puck, shoveling it up toward the blue line. Finkelstein there takes a hit. No arm raised. Onward we play. Sharks pick up that puck near side of the ice, right in front of the camera. Well, once again, here come the Sharks with some speed on the forehand. They try to shovel it across to the slot, and it connects only with a North Park stick. Sharks pick it right back up in the neutral zone. It's still the Sharks trying to dump in once more. It's Meller filtering that around to Tanoff. Tanoff on up towards Sweeney. That puck bounces off the wall. North Park has it back, and the home run pass connects. It's Grebin in a one-on-one here. He gets sent aside very nicely. Oh, Meller nearly tucked that one home on a redirect. Instead, it's North Park picking it up in the slot on the forehand. North Park will curl. It's Grebin on it. Sends a soft shot in. Bouncing puck nearly picked up by Kluchek. Thrown right back in front again. Nice tight angle save there from the Sharks man, as it'll be North Park trying to get another shot on goal here as we tick toward 8.5 left to go. Couple of home team shots, nothing more just yet on the sequence. This will be the Sharks sending that all the way deep. Will it cross the end line? It will. And so with 8:24 left to go, 8:20, well, we're ticking on 8:26. Looks like we've added some time right back there. And so 8:26, call it, in the first half, a 1-1 hockey game and an offensive zone draw after a couple of very nice chances for North Park and a couple of very nice saves for the Sharks. This will be Tannenbaum, Vigliotti, and Samosi as the forwards. Firing in on that was Vigliotti. Nearly pulled out of some skates. Deflection on the Tannenbaum shot carried just wide. Sharks try the far side of the ice to leave the zone. Getting across is Kluchek. Look out. Here come the Sharks in a mini break. They're in tight. Speaker able to make the save. And it was good defensive work there by North Park. And then cleaned up by the big leg pad of Ryan Speaker. It's now the Sharks coming right back toward the offensive zone. Good stick work by Halpern. Cuts out the threat. That one sent all the way across, picked up by North Park, never reached the goal mouth. The Sharks to pick up that puck on the far side of the ice. It's the Sharks now trying to work it up through the neutral zone. It's Halpern, though, first to it at his own blue line, sends it to some open ice in front of the Sharks bench. It'll be the Sharks, though, coming back in the other direction on a line change. Fluttering puck picked up by Samosi. He chips it up, but it's the Sharks on the puck. Speaker able to get down and make that save with 7:34 left to go here in the first half. The action just picking up a little bit. There's a bit of a lull there for the last few minutes. And then North Park had some chances and the Sharks matching them stride for stride right now. And so this will be Meller at the dot. Looks like Farrow in the slot. Pulls defensive duties. The Sharks trying to take that faceoff win up to the point. They do. Heworth nearly had touched it past a man. And now North Park able to clear the zone. On the forecheck was Grebin there. This will be the Sharks dumping that puck on in. Farrow and Tanoff give chase at the end board. Slapped all the way around to the near side of the defensive zone. It's the Sharks firing in. Deflection carries that up into the netting. And so with 7:12 left to go here in the first half, it's a defensive zone draw for North Park. Well, folks, time enough to thank you so much for joining us right here on Midnight Sports. We could do it without you, but we wouldn't. This is Miller at the dot. Sharks take over at the top of the near circle. Nearly touched pass by Grebin for a breakaway instead. This is North Park dumping it around to the far side, trying to find some ice to break out of the zone. It was a nice chop there by North Park that finds Grebin in full stride. Grebin will carry that all the way into the offensive zone. Tight angle shot. He shoots. He scores. Well, it was Grebin out of nowhere. Tight angle shot. And he was able to find the back of the net for the home team and give North Park at 6:51 their first lead of the afternoon here in Queens. Now this will be Tannenbaum winning that forward, but without possession right now. It's dumped in by North Park. Sweeney on the forecheck. Finkelstein joins him up the right wing. Sharks will curl with the puck on that far side of the ice. It's the Sharks now carrying it forward across the logo with some speed. Long shot in. Speaker's just going to glove that. And as the Sharks get close, it'll be a freeze here by the netminder for North Park. And a defensive zone draw upcoming for the team in the white sweaters. This will be Tannenbaum now. That puck is batted away by Speaker off the blocker, shot in wide of the net. Sharks able to keep the zone on this near side of the ice. Puck dumped in once more. Tannenbaum first to it on the backhand, tries to filter it farther. Sharks all over him in that near corner. North Park looking to break out. It's the Sharks jamming it up at the near side of the ice. Puck sits at the blue line. Sharks with a good zone keep. It's now North Park trying to work that out, but the Sharks have it on their forehand. They're going to curl all the way past to the end boards as North Park tries once more to get this puck up and out. It's Halpern who gets dragged down on that far side of the ice. Shot goes wide of the cage, and so now it's North Park able to chip that up and past. A good play by Tannenbaum as he found Finkelstein, who did what he needed to do to get that puck up and out of the zone. Now the Sharks take over once more at their blue line. It's the Sharks all the way into the offensive end. Speaker sees that shot go well wide of the cage, and ensuing shot comes through the blue paint, but there was no one home for the Sharks as we play on. And it's now the Long Island Sharks trying to work that to the far side of the ice. Breakout doesn't work there for North Park. Ensuing shot hits a man in the equipment. Looks like that's going to be stuck in some hockey shorts, and so with 5:17 left to go here in the first half. Bit of a magician there out on the ice for North Park. Now you see it, now you don't. That puck went into the ether and only came out once the whistle blew. It's got a defensive zone draw upcoming here for the home team. And this will be Meller. And Samosi and Farrow in the slot. That puck goes all the way to the end boards. It's worked around in the near side for Vigliotti. Vigliotti cycles it just a bit deeper. Bouncing puck comes up to that far point. A little open ice there. Shot in, and it takes a deflection. Never reaches the goal mouth. Vigliotti picks it up in stride. Jabbed off his stick, but North Park has it right back. North Park dumps it to the near side. Sharks will reset and try to come past Farrow. Farrow able to get a stick on it as it is Samosi with the puck. Looking for that home run pass once more. It hit a couple of sticks. Icing waved. Onward we play. Puck worked up to the near point. Farrow has it. Goes point to point with Tanoff. Tanoff on the puck. Far side of the ice. Works it deep again. Looks like that puck was on the proper side of the halfway line, and onward we play. It's now Samosi trying to get that puck past a man. It's going to bounce all the way up to the blue line, and so it will be North Park dumping in once more. Samosi gives chase on the forecheck. Vigliotti and Farrow out there trying to keep that puck in the zone, but here come the Sharks with some speed. It's the Sharks all the way into the offensive zone. Tanoff, though, able to cut that threat out, and we'll see here what the call is going to be, as there's a little bit of a kerfluffle on that far side of the ice. Look like it'll be North Park going to the box. We'll see what the gesture is. And it's going to be roughing. And so North Park up a goal, about to be down a man with 4 minutes and 7 seconds left to go here in the first half. It's a 2-minute call for roughing against Vigliotti. And this will be Keyworth, Grebben, Halpern. And we'll keep you updated as soon as we know. Looks like perhaps Kluchek far side of the ice. Now penalty killing unit number 1 out there on the ice as the Sharks try to work this deep. They come to the side of the cage. Speaker able to get a stick on it and jab it just wide of the goal mouth. Sharks back on the puck, far side, as Keyworth able to pick the puck off a man and work it up and out of the zone. Sharks try to dump it in once more, but it ends up in the North Park bench with 3:44 left to go here in the first half. It'll be a neutral zone drop. It was Keyworth who was able to touch that past the blue line. And so it'll be a center ice drop now with 1 minute and 38 seconds left to go on the man advantage. This is Keyworth trying to work that puck forward off the draw. Finds Kluchek, who throws that up into the ceiling. It doesn't actually hit the ceiling, so onward we play. Ended up being a good clearance there by North Park as the Sharks send that all the way forward, but Kluchek on it, works it over to Halpern. Halpern on the puck, works it up the near side of the ice, and the Sharks try to reset on the man advantage. It'll be Grebben tying his man up as Kluchek had gotten across and was able to jab the puck off a stick. The Sharks reset at the blue line. Look out. Sharks with a little room to operate now on the far side of the ice. They throw it across. It ends up at the inboards, now the near corner. This puck's just going to sit in the near corner momentarily. Fired in. Speaker gets down and sticks it aside as the Sharks have that puck back. It's still the Sharks now on the puck. They send a soft shot in, and it's cleared very nicely by North Park. And so 42 seconds left to go in the man advantage here as the Sharks pick up the puck near side of the defensive zone. It was Grebin on the forecheck, able to jam up the zone exit. Tannenbaum now out there. Grebin right back on the forecheck as the Sharks throw that up, but not past Tannenbaum. Tannenbaum with the puck in the offensive end. He's just going to dump it in softly as the Sharks will reset near side of the ice. It's the Sharks trying to fire that across. Finkelstein able to get a stick and skate in the way. And it's North Park sending it all the way down to the far side of the ice once more. 10 seconds left to go in the man advantage as North Park tries to successfully kill off what remains of this power play. Bouncing puck all the way across. Tanoff across. And it's going to go, that puck, offside with 2:05 left to play here in the first half. Sharks just a bit offside. And a faceoff's going to come all the way back into the Sharks' end because that's where that puck was released from. And so should be back to 5-on-5 skating here from Long Island City. This will be Tannenbaum, Finkelstein, Samosi, Farrow, and Tanoff. Clean win there by North Park, goes all the way across the slot, and it's retrieved by the Sharks. The Sharks trying to send that puck up the near side, but it's Tannenbaum and Finkelstein who combine to work that puck, and it finds Samosi. It's Samosi all the way across. Now for Tannenbaum on the backhand, trying to find a teammate at the near post, but it'll be the Sharks coming back in the other direction. It's a mini break here for the Sharks. The Sharks all the way into the offensive end. They throw it across, but Tanoff makes a 5-bell play to get all the way across and cut out the slot pass. And North Park just ices it with 1:32 left to go in this first half. Oh boy, the old number 6, Christopher Tanoff, on the back check, gets all the way back, and he was able to slide across the slot and make the play that prevented the Sharks from having any shot on goal. All right, this will be Meller at the circle, far side of the ice. Sharks try to pour it forward, and now it's Keyworth touching it past a man on the boards. He's got Grebin in an odd man rush. Keyworth into the offensive end. He shoots it, saved very nicely by the Sharks netminder as that puck's going to go all the way down. Icing already waved as North Park was close to it. It's the Sharks trying to get a shot on goal here as we tick with toward 1 minute left. Kluchek able to body his man off the puck. Here come the Sharks anyway. It's the Sharks into the offensive end. Sharks on the forehand. That puck rolls across the goal mouth. And now we're going to get a stoppage in play. Looks like it's going to be a penalty on North Park here. And some shouting from the benches as we'll see what the call is here. Just an explanation being given to Kluchek, it looks like, as to why the call is being made. 57.6 left to go in the opening frame here from City Ice Pavilion. It's North Park up a goal, down a man with 57.6 left. Explanation still being given at that far face-off circle to North Park as the players get out there to hear the explanation from the man in stripes. Now 2 minutes put on the board. No official gesture as the scorekeeper just being told what the penalty is. And so typically it's a roughing or an interference call when it is that far behind the play. But it's the Sharks loading up, shooting in. Speaker gets the shoulder across and sends it to the near corner. That puck worked up to the near point, and the Sharks maintain possession, looking to fire it all the way across. It was just a bit too hot to handle there for the Sharks, but they get it back. Speaker able to get his chest on that one. 40 seconds left to go in this half. North Park can't clear the zone just yet. Sharks turning with it. Puck sits at the near half wall, fired across. That one misses the net. It's still the Sharks now, far side of the ice. Deflected shot, carried toward the slot, and North Park sends it up toward Meller. Meller now trying to turn with the puck. Sharks have it toward the slot. On the backhand, they're tripped up there. No arm raised. and onward we play. Sharks wanted a call. Everyone in the rink thought it was coming. It's fair out, bodying a man behind the net. Sharks still with it. 10 seconds left to go. What a play there by North Park. It was Grebin who was able to cut out the threat and carry that puck all the way to the neutral zone. Meller has to delay. Just 1 second left to go anyway. And so, after that first half, still a minute and 3 seconds left to go on the man advantage here for the Sharks, but we can take just a break in play. There will be an ice cut, it looks like, as the teams leave the ice. Now we'll see if there's actually an ice cut. It looks like we will have a delay here between the halves, as we so often do. The garage gate is up for the Zamboni. Well, just an explanation being given on the ice before we check in with our sponsors here as to whether there'll be an ice cut. Well, regardless, we'll be back with more action here from Long Island City as 25 minutes will be put up on the board. Sharks heading to their locker room to talk things over. We'll see if North Park does the same, or we just take a moment here at City Ice Pavilion. Either way, you're watching Midnight Sports.
Hockey fans, do you ever find yourself acting like, well, a hockey fan when you shouldn't? 9 out of 10 hockey fans admit to hockey fan behavior outside of the rink. From yelling at people dressed in black and white clothes to pounding on any glass they can find, hockey fans can have difficulty distinguishing good behavior from bad. That's why all of us at the Hockey Experts can help. We will show you that what may be appropriate at the rink is definitely not appropriate anywhere else. It's the Hockey Experts. Give us a call today. Don't use your own one phone call from jail. That should be your lawyer.
Hey folks, it's Rowdy Howdy here from Rowdy Howdy's Cars, Trucks, and SUVs. This weekend at Rowdy Howdy's, it's the Dog Days of Summer Sale. Come check out our fine automobiles while a pack of feral dogs checks you out. While legally we're no longer allowed to call these things cars, you should stop on by to chase some deals on these car-like products while the dogs chase you. It's the Dog Days of Summer Sale at Rowdy Howdy's, 1234 Fake Ad Boulevard, just off the highway, right past the biggest American flag you've ever seen. Rowdy Howdy's.
are coming back here for the second half. From City Ice Pavilion, it was a true halftime with an ice cut, which would lead you to believe we are in EJ Central. And so perhaps this is indeed an EJ game. You'll have to just go ahead and give us a like, follow, or subscribe. We'll update you the next time we're back in action here on a North Park game. But best guess, this one's going to go down as an EJEPL game, or the scorer's booth just having fun out there. Either way, 25 minutes on the clock, 1:03 left to go on the man advantage for the Sharks. North Park stayed up at rink level. Sharks went down to the locker room to try to work on some strategy, as North Park did the same up top. And so we're just about ready to get rolling here. This will be Meller, Halpern, Greben, as 3 of the 5 out there over the boards come Tanoff and Farrow as the defending pair. Shots in that first half, 19-13 on our board here. A reminder, the clock, shots, everything other than the score is just an approximation of what we see up here in the booth. If you're looking for the official stats, you'll have to find the EJ score sheet or just the game sheet. But we're going to do our best to keep it as accurate as possible. Goaltenders being checked. This is Meller at the drop. It's Farrow trying to shepherd that forward, but of course the Sharks up a man here in an odd man rush as they come back to the offensive end. They shoot in high of the cage. That hits the curved glass, and it's going to leave the zone. It's as good as a zone clearance for North Park. As the Sharks reset, they'll dump in, bouncing puck up towards Speaker, and he's just going to go ahead and cover that puck up. With 17 seconds gone in this second half, it'll be a defensive zone draw for the home team. Still 45 seconds left to go here on the power play for the visitors. That puck won towards Speaker, but it was Halpern who had cut out the threat, and he's able to send that up and out of the zone. It's the Sharks at their own blue line, now in front of their own bench, going point to point there is Finkelstein on the forecheck. That puck's going to roll toward Halpern. He threads it up to the neutral zone. Sharks will have to clear the offensive end once more. Tannenbaum getting back on the back check. He's able to throw that up and out of the defensive zone. Sharks reset, but this one's a delayed offside, and so Halpern can take his time with. Halpern skates it up toward his blue line. He chips it up past there. 13 seconds left to go on the man advantage. It's Keyworth. Shot out of a cannon on that far side of the ice on the forecheck. We are back to 5-on-5 hockey in just 5 seconds. Halpern fires that in. It takes a deflection off a skate, goes wide. Sharks to pick up. They send it to the far side. Tannenbaum puts the brakes on, fires in, looking for a deflection in front. Shot went just wide of the cage. Sharks pick back up once more. They fire it to the neutral zone where Halpern takes over. He's got Keyworth in front of him. Halpern will curl with it at the logo, and he's just going to filter that on back to Tannenbaum. Tannenbaum tries to work that puck up and out of the zone. Sharks will take over on that far side. They chip it toward the slot. Speaker gets down, makes the save. Puck sits in front, and it's Samosi to clear the danger. And now Samosi carries that up into the offensive end. Samosi carries it deep into the corner, has some support from Sweeney. Bouncing puck's going to come out. Here come the Sharks in a mini break. Halpern trying to get back. It's the Sharks all the way in. They shoot, they hit the crossbar as Speaker was able to make himself big in net front and got a little help from his iron friends. This is now Tannenbaum firing in. That shot saved nicely. Shot aside there in that 2-minute sequence, and it's Farrow firing in. Fluttering puck comes on net. Samosi to pick up once more. Samosi on the puck, right back up to Farrow. Farrow sends that wide of the cage. Now it was saved, and once and twice by the Sharks. Onward we play. Samosi to pick back up. It's North Park trying to tilt the ice just a bit. He finds Greben there, turns with the puck all the way across top of the near circle. Rolling puck finds Samosi on the backhand. Samosi shepherds it up to Farrow, back to Samosi. That puck sits at the top of the near circle. Sharks can't quite clear the zone, as on the second try they are able to. And they send it deep all the way in. Come the Sharks. Speaker with the chest save. And it's North Park trying to come back in the other direction. Still North Park on the puck. They get turned in their own zone. Send it to that far side of the ice. as that bouncing puck will sit there at the end boards, thrown in front. This is all sticks. Picking that puck up is Grebin once more. Works it up and out, and now it's Vigliotti giving chase in the offensive end. Vigliotti at the end boards, kicks it on over to the far side of the ice as North Park was making a chain. Sharks can't quite get out of their zone. It's Grebin in, nearly all alone. It was a last-ditch play by the Sharks defender, and a great one at that. And onward we play, rolling puck. All centered to the top of the slot. Kluchek fires a shot in. Now it's Grebin turning, trying to fire it farther. It was a nice save in the end by the Sharks, who look to get this puck up and out of the zone, which is exactly what they do. They'll give chase as Speaker thinks about playing the puck, but it's going to go for an icing with 21:35 left to go here in the second half. This will be a face-off all the way down in the Sharks' end. Now Halpern, Vigliotti, Finkelstein, Kluchek, and Tannenbaum as the five skaters out there in white. And an offensive zone draw coming up for the home team. This is Tannenbaum, far side of the ice. Works it toward Vigliotti, nearly in front, but it was good stick work by the Sharks. That cut out the threat. Halpern able to hold that puck at the point, wings it in. Kicked aside there by the Sharks. Now Finkelstein fires on the puck, able to keep the zone. And turning for it is Tannenbaum. Here's Finkelstein calling for the puck. Centered, goes off a skate and wide. Halpern has it at the near point. He's able to dump it in just a bit deeper, as it'll be Vigliotti trying to center that puck. Instead, the Sharks are going to send this one all the way down. We'll see if it goes wide. It does for an icing. 21:05 left to go here in this second half. This game poised on a knife's edge right now. A lot of hockey left to play, though. And so this will be Tannenbaum, Finkelstein, Vigliotti, Farrow, and Tanoff as the five skaters for North Park. Tannenbaum out there, clean win toward Vigliotti. Works it up toward Farrow. No shooting lane for him, so he dumps it down toward Vigliotti. Puck gets caught in some skates, and it's Vigliotti pulling it out of those skates and getting it on his stick, firing in, kicked aside by the Sharks. Tannenbaum has it back, looking for Finkelstein in front, works it up to the point, but that puck hits some snow on the far side and hops up over all sticks, and so it'll be Tanoff shoveling it around to the near side of the ice. Sharks look to take over on that near side. Bouncing puck comes up, but not out. Farrow tries to get body position on his man. He does, picking up that puck in stride as Tannenbaum. Soft pass up toward Finkelstein. Finkelstein carries it across his own blue line. It's Finkelstein now in full stride, but this will be North Park just a bit offside. And so this faceoff with 20:23 left to go in this second half will come out to the neutral zone. And this will be Samosi, Sweeney, Meller, Farrow, and Tanoff as the five skaters on the ice. Meller at the drop. Chips it forward. Can't get his stick free at first as the players all get tied up. And it's a delayed offside being called here on North Park as Samosi able to pull the puck off a man and carry it deeper into the zone. Samosi has a skater all over him, tries to leave for Sweeney there. Instead, it's the Sharks coming right back in the other direction. The Sharks in a 3-on-2. Sweeney gets back to make it a 3-on-3. Fired in. Speaker gloves that down and leaves for Farrow. Farrow able to send that up toward the blue line. Sweeney touches it farther for Samosi. Samosi across into the offensive end. Samosi there. Soft shot in, goes wide. And this will now be the Sharks picking up and trying to skate on out. They can't get past Halpern, who fires that up off the boards, and it goes out of play. And so this will be a face-off in the offensive end for North Park. 19:39 left to go here in the second half. It's Kluchek, Halpern, Tannenbaum, Grebin, and Keyworth. Puck sits at the dot. Sharks look like they're going to be able to escape with it at their blue line. They go that far, but no farther as Tannenbaum takes over and dumps in. It's Keyworth now giving chase, and he works it over toward Grebin. Grebin picks up that puck in front of the Zamboni doors. Slides it right on back toward Keyworth. Saucer pass finds Kluchek, far side of the ice. Centering pass, kicked aside there by a Sharks defender. And now Halpern fires in, looking for a deflection. That puck saucers wide of the net. On in was Kluchek on the pinch to try and keep the zone. Here come the Sharks, 2-on-2 back in the other direction. Tannenbaum had done well to try and cut out any threat. Speaker fights that one off as that puck. That Goal is being waved. There are a lot of folks saying the puck was in. Looks like it might go for goaltender interference, and that's why it was waved off. As Speaker was run into there after making the initial save. And so the explanation given. And so unclear if that puck ever went in. But Speaker was steamrolled, not maliciously, of course, as the Sharks were just pouring forward to try and jab that puck home and made contact with the netminder in the crease. That rolling puck's going to come all the way to the side of the cage. It's going to be shoveled wide there by Tannenbaum. Keyworth circles back, shuffles it down low for Farah. This is now Farah trying to work that puck up and out. North Park does. Keyworth in stride, picks it up. He's got Tannenbaum toward the slot, tries to feather one down to him. It hits a shin guard, but Keyworth gets it back. Keyworth on the puck. Tight angle shot goes up and over corner of the net. And now Farah tracking all the way back to pick up that rolling puck in his own end. Farah on the puck. Gets bodied to the boards there, but he's able to tie his man up long enough for Tanoff to send that puck all the way up, but it'll be Grebin just offside. And so 18-11 left to go in this second half. It'll be a neutral zone drop. Just outside the Sharks zone. Now this will be Meller at the dot. Bigliotti to his left, Finkelstein to his right. It's Finkelstein, takes that face-off win and dumps on in. Sharks have the puck in that far corner, and it was Finkelstein cutting out the zone exit, and now Meller firing on the puck at the end boards. Able to tie his man up there momentarily. Fluttering puck side of the cage, couldn't be tucked home, still loose in front. Sharks able to clear it, only up to the blue line. Kluchek able to keep it in the zone. It's Meller all the way across in that far corner, trying to kick the puck to himself. Takes a couple of jabs in the back, as that puck is going to roll up and out of the zone. Here come the Sharks in the other direction. It's the Sharks now into the offensive end. That shot hits Halpern's stick and goes to the far corner. Halpern with some good defensive work there, keeping his stick on the ice to prevent the shot on goal. North Park now tries to break out in the other direction. It's Meller able to work it over to Finkelstein. Finkelstein gains the line, dumps on in. Onward we play here. Ticking towards 17 minutes left to go in this second half. The zone breakout doesn't quite connect there for the Sharks at the first attempt. Sharks will throw that past the blue line now. Halpern will take over at his own. And it's Halpern up the near side of the ice for Bigliotti. Bigliotti now sends that across the logo. North Park will have to get out of the zone. They do. Halpern picks up that puck, skates it in on the backhand, avoids a big hit there. Sharks will take over as Tannenbaum fires on the puck. It's cycled to the far side, now the near side by the Sharks. So we'll skate this up and out. Sharks on the puck all the way into the offensive zone, but only so far as Tanoff, who leaves for Samosi. Samosi on the forehand. Screen shot comes in, gloved very nicely by the Sharks. And we'll get a stoppage in play with 16:39 left to go in this second half. Offensive zone draw upcoming for North Park. Barrow, Tanoff, Tannenbaum, Grebin, and Samosi, the five skaters on the ice. It's the Sharks winning that back, but it was Grebin who was able to work that deeper. Samosi on the forecheck, sees that puck bounce on the far side of the ice. Sharks trying to get this up and out of the zone. It's still the Sharks, now cycling it to the far side. Samosi on the forecheck, puck rolls just past it. Here comes a 3-on-1 if they hurry for the Sharks. They fire in, they shoot, and they score on the near post. And with 16:16 left to go in this game, it's a shot and goal for the visitors. And just like that, we're all tied up here at City Ice Pavilion on the odd man rush. Now ensuing faceoff will be Sweeney, Keyworth, Halpern, Meller, and it looks like Kluchek out there to round out the five. This will be Meller at the dot. Clean win back to Halpern. Halpern on the puck, works it on up, and he's going to find Sweeney. Sweeney will dump into the offensive end. Fluttering puck was a shot on goal. Keyworth nearly to it. Sharks there first. Puck dumped in just a bit deeper. It comes to Keyworth, who shoots just wide of the net. He had a man on his shoulder, and onward we play. Just one shot on goal there for North Park during that sequence. Here come the Sharks again. all the way across. It's touched home. Once again on the odd man rush. It hit the post, and then it was a goal for the Sharks, and they take a 1-goal lead. With 15:46 left to go in this game, the Sharks are fired up. And North Park looking for a way back here. It'll be Tannenbaum at the dot. And it's North Park trying to win that puck forward. Instead, the Sharks will come back in the other direction. They can't quite get past Farrow, who's back for the puck at the dot, but here come the Sharks, side of the cage. They think about a wraparound. Cutting out the threat was Hanoff on the far side of the ice. North Park able to send that up and out. And so with 15:23 left to go in this second half, it's going to be a face-off in North Park's defensive zone, far side of the ice. This will be Tannenbaum at the dot. Farrow and Finkelstein man the slot. Vigliotti far side of the ice. Sharks have it. They try to fire in. It hits a skate. Look out. Bouncing puck sent high of the cage. This is now Farrow chipping up off the glass. And there he will find Vigliotti. Vigliotti with some speed. Tries to send that puck across. Gets it back instead. Vigliotti still on the puck. Still Vigliotti now. Farrow creeping in near side of the ice. Vigliotti sends it across the slot. Pass handcuffed Finkelstein. He gets it back. Works it up to the point. North Park fires in once more. Clear it out of the crease was Vigliotti. North Park will go to the man advantage. Now down a goal with 15:01 left to go in this game. North Park down a goal, but up a man. And an offensive zone draw upcoming for the home team. Well, Keyworth, Tannenbaum, Meller, Alpern, and Grebin out there as the 5 skaters in white. This is power play unit number 1. Meller at the dot. Ties up his man there, firing in his Grebin to try and keep that puck in the zone. And it rolls toward Keyworth, who works it deeper for Halpern. Halpern surveys his options, curls with the puck, comes back up toward the point, fires it point to point for Tannenbaum, who's just going to dump this puck in. There was no shooting lane for him. Better to keep the zone. It's Keyworth now on the forehand. Top of the near circle, fires that one across for Tannenbaum. Tannenbaum with some speed, deflected puck, carried deep toward the end boards. Meller fires on it. Sharks try to get body position on that far side. Bouncing puck. This is all sticks, and now the Sharks able to fire that puck all the way up and down. Speaker out of his cage for the Sharks zone clearance. 1:18 left to go on the man advantage here for North Park as they break out of their own end. It's Keyworth with speed into the offensive end. Curls toward the slot, drags past a man. That puck rolls off a stick toward the side of the cage. Keyworth surveys his options out front. Hits the side of the cage on the centering pass, but he gets it back. Leaves it for Tannenbaum at the point. All the way to the neutral zone comes that puck. It's Halpern back into the offensive end. He'll dump in, and North Park will give chase. It's Grebin on the puck. He gets bumped off it, but Tannenbaum able to hold the zone. Halpern now could step into one. Deflection carried just wide of the cage. Tannenbaum across, picks up the puck in the neutral zone, and it'll be Halpern to pick on up. Halpern on the puck. 37 seconds left to go on the man advantage as Meller dumps on in. It's the Sharks working it up to the point, trying to touch it farther, but a nice play by Tannenbaum keeps the zone. It's Tannenbaum there, shooting in. Blocker to side by the Sharks. Touched farther there by the Sharks, but not out. Halpern has it back. Top of the slot. Fires in. That hits a skate. It's Meller in the slot once more on the backhand. He's going to try to settle that puck down. Sends it all the way across. Just 9 seconds left to go on the man advantage as Tannenbaum has it at the blue line. He'll fire in. That's kicked aside by the Sharks. Vigliotti sends it across on the centering pass. It hits a Sharks skate, and the Sharks able to clear the zone. And just like that, we're back to 5-on-5 hockey here as Tannenbaum all the way back for the puck in his own end. We're under 13 minutes left to play here as it's Halpern settling that puck down at the end boards. He'll turn to the far corner. He's got Grebin, Vigliotti, Samosi, and Finkelstein out there with him. It's now Halpern on the puck, on the forehand, into the zone, looking for some options. Feathers it deeper for Grebin. Grebin on the puck, near half wall. As he circles at the top of the near circle, works it deeper for Samosi, all the way across. North Park was looking for the centering pass instead. This one's going to come up and out. The Sharks with some speed into the offensive end. Sharks set up shop there, but it was Finkelstein able to block the pass and see that puck roll toward Halpern. Halpern tries to send that puck farther. It'll be the Sharks dumping in once more. Sharks net front. Speaker able to kick that puck out from the leg pads on the point blank shot. Bouncing puck sits momentarily. Finkelstein gets held up, and now the Sharks in. They're in tight. Speaker able to make the save, and that puck sent up and out by North Park. That puck comes across once more, but it'll be the Sharks picking it up in the offensive end until Grebin able to jam that up and out of the zone. Grebin with the man draped on him. Finkelstein able to stop and keep that skate onside, and then the Sharks with a nice save. It'll be Finkelstein to pick up in that far corner. North Park trying to go for a partial change here as they dump into the zone. It will be the Sharks coming back in the other direction. 3-on-3 in that direction as they dump that puck in deep. It bounces. It'll be Kluchek trying to get that puck up and out of the zone. Sharks with some time and space. Speaker able to glove that down and jump on it. With 11:14 left to go in this game, it's the Sharks with a 1-goal lead and an offensive zone draw upcoming here at City Ice Pavilion. Now Tannenbaum at the dot. That bouncing puck is going to find Kluchek, who works it up and out of the zone. Sharks take over in the neutral zone. It's now the Sharks trying to work that puck through the neutral zone, but coming across was Tannenbaum, who was just a bit offside. And so with 11 minutes even, we'll do it all over again, but this time in the neutral zone, just outside the Sharks zone. This will be Tannenbaum, Keyworth, Samosi, Barrow, and Tanoff as the 5 skaters in white. Sharks able to feather that off the boards and dump into the offensive end. Coming all the way back for it is Tanoff. Tanoff with Keyworth up the left wing here as North Park tries to move that up and out. They do. Sharks take over at the logo. They dump in once more. Trying to kill off this game are the Sharks with a dump and chase game. It's now a bouncing puck that finds a Shark stick in the offensive end. They carry it up to the blue line. They'll dump in once more. Barrow to pick up. He sends that puck to the near side of the ice. Sharks on it there. At the near half wall, Sharks dump in once more. Thrown all the way across was that puck, but it'll be Keyworth to try and pick up in stride. Keyworth with Tannenbaum ahead of him. Keyworth into the offensive end. He carries it to that far corner, works it up to the point. Tanoff there, walks the blue line, fires in. That bouncing puck hits a body, goes just wide. It was a screened shot and a good one, but that puck ended up rolling just wide. Sharks now trying to work that puck up and out of the zone. They do. This one's not going to go for an icing as it was deflected off a North Park stick. So all the way back is Tanoff. Stops on a dime, turns, comes up strong side, then works a diagonal pass. He was looking to hit a man fresh off the bench. Instead, the Sharks sniffed it out and dumped it in deep. It's now Farrell working that up towards Samosi. Samosi tries to chip it up and out of the zone. Sharks able to keep the zone there. Pushing his man off the puck was Farrell, and now Tanoff back to it in the near corner. Trying to work that puck up and out is North Park, and they're going to skate it up to the blue line, and then it's Grebin with some speed into the offensive end. He's 1-on-3 right now, trying to set up a shot. It was blocked not once but twice by the Sharks in front of him. Grebin didn't have many options, but here come the Sharks in the other direction. They fire in. Speaker able to make the save and keep this a 1-goal hockey game with 9:13 left to play. It's a defensive zone drop for North Park. Now this will be Meller at the dot. Wins that back to Kluchek. Kluchek has Halpern on the near side, but look out. It's Grebin who's going to track that puck down all alone in the offensive zone, looking for a trailer. The Ice Monster ends up gobbling up the puck, but Grebin gets it back. Still Grebin on the backhand. Halpern calling for it at the blue line. Sends it to some open ice, far side of the ice. It's the Sharks first to it. They're going to send that all the way up and out for an icing, but the Sharks don't care. They're happy to clear the trouble after Grebin was in all alone, nearly hit a trailer, but instead the ice ended up having other thoughts. And so just an offensive zone draw here for North Park, as we're officially under 9 minutes left to play in this one. It's Tannenbaum at the dot. Vigliotti and Finkelstein out there too. Vigliotti sends that puck deeper into the zone. It'll be the Sharks trying to come away with it there. They turn up that strong side of the ice, but kept in by Finkelstein. Vigliotti has it back, looking for Tannenbaum. Tries a short side shot, and it's saved nicely by the Sharks. Now Finkelstein able to jam up any zone breakout. It'll be North Park trying to keep that puck in the zone. Vigliotti gets body position on a man. So the Sharks try this near side of the ice. Strange Karam off the board. Saved nicely by the Sharks. Fired in not once but twice by North Park. But instead it is the Sharks coming back in the other direction as they try to dump that puck on in. Speaker will just cover it up there. He does with 8:07 left to go in this game. It's going to be a defensive zone drop for North Park. Well, it'll be Farrow and Tanoff as the defensive pairing. Samosi, Meller, and Keyworth as the forwards on this near side of the ice. Sharks try to win that faceoff to the half wall. Farrow, though, first to it. Off the dasher, that puck rolls, and the Sharks will have to track all the way back to the neutral zone for it. Soft dump in, doesn't connect as Tanoff able to work that puck off the boards, and Samosi chips it forward. It's Samosi now in full flight, side of the cage, throws it in front. Sharks first to it. This will be the Sharks trying to get this puck up and out. Tanoff intercepts the pass, dumps it in just a bit deeper. Sharks work it to the far side of the ice, and that bouncing puck comes out of the zone. North Park has to track it down. Keyworth on the puck. Diagonal pass up toward Farrow. Farrow there. Tries to send it farther for Meller as the Sharks take over once more. That puck's going to roll all the way toward the North Park blue line. And it'll be Tanoff, sending it up into the neutral zone. Sharks have to get back on side, but looks like it was a hand pass. And so, with 7:17 left to go, it's a face-off out of the North Park zone. Well, this has been a game just as tight as we expected. And so we'll see if North Park has some push here in the waning minutes of this game. It's Grebin into the zone on the forehand, into the slot. He shoots, and that one saved nicely by the Sharks netminder. And so just an offensive zone draw upcoming here for North Park. Now this will be Tannenbaum at the dot. Grebin to his left, Sweeney to his right. Halpern and Kluchek as the defenders. Tannenbaum on the puck at the end boards, looking for Grebin out front. Cycles it to the near side. Sharks will try to pick up there and then filter it to that far corner. Sharks able to work that up toward the point, but not out just yet. Second try, they're able to get it past the blue line. This will be a delayed offside on North Park. They touch up. Sharks take over on the near side of the ice. It's the Sharks trying to work that up through the neutral zone. Heavy hit there right in front of the camera well as the puck gets caught in some skates. Bounces off a couple of bodies, and it's North Park through Sweeney able to dump that on in. Sweeney gives chase on the forecheck. Sharks work that puck up to the near half wall. North Park able to keep the zone, though, and it'll be Kluchek picking up in front of the Sharks bench. Dumped on down toward Grebin. Grebin sees Sweeney there. It comes all the way up toward Halpern. Halpern shoots in. That puck sits in the slot, and then it's cleared by the Sharks once more as we head towards 6 minutes left to play. 6:09 officially. It's a Sharks icing, and it'll be a face-off all the way down on the left side of the ice. If you're just sitting at home on the couch watching this, it will be Finkelstein, Meller, Farrow, Tanoff, and Vigliotti as the five skaters in white. Meller wins that toward the slot. It sits in front, fired in, saved nicely. Puck still loose. You get a whistle here as perhaps the net had come off its moorings, or the official just lost sight of it. Shots 29-27 right now. in favor of the Sharks. Puck's dropped, fired in by North Park. That shot doesn't get through, hit a body in front, and here come the Sharks in the other direction. Soft dump in's not going to cross the line. Tanoff all the way back for it. Digs it out toward Farrow, near side of the ice. Farrow tries to send it farther there. He does. North Park gets that puck up and out of the zone, and now it'll be Meller in stride with the puck. Meller into the offensive end. That's blockered up, sits in front. Vigliotti pulls that back as there was a stick in his way. Vigliotti looking to center it. Comes toward Finkelstein. Drifted all the way to the end boards. Farrow is pinched in, tries to leave it for Vigliotti. Vigliotti back on the puck, fires in it, hits a shin guard, and the Sharks scrambling to get this puck up and out of the zone. They will. We'll see if Speaker comes all the way out for it as that puck's chipped up. He got a stick on it as there was a little hesitation there, but Speaker was able to dive for it with the stick, and the Sharks reset as that puck bounces into the offensive end. Sharks still on the puck, trying to send it farther. This will be Speaker on the puck. That puck's still loose as it was up toward the glove, but it sat on Speaker's equipment, and so this will be Meller back in the other direction. He's got Vigliotti there. It's Meller in the slot. That's fired up into the netting, and so we get a stoppage in play with 4:46 left to go here in the second half. Couple of shots on goal there. Now just one by the visitors. And North Park shot deflected up into the netting, so that one doesn't officially count on the scoreboard. And this will be Tannenbaum at the dot. Grebin to his left and Keyworth to his right. And puck sent to the far side of the ice, and now up and out of the zone. It's the Sharks trying to get back for it. They do. It's a 2-on-1, now a 3-on-1 for the Sharks, but it was Halpert who did a good job to push his man wide. That puck's just going to come all the way down. Speaker tries to glove it there. He sends it to the end boards, and now Keyworth with the puck. Looking up is Grebin. Grebin has the puck. It's a breakaway for Grebin all the way in, shoots, and it's kicked aside by the Sharks netminder. And right now, that's the difference in the game, this one-goal game, as the Sharks will come back in the other direction with the puck. It's the Sharks trying to send that toward the slot. Halpern gets back to try and cut out the threat. He does. That one's sent up toward Grebin. Grebin now one-on-one with a man into the offensive end. Grebin there. Tries to use him as a screen and then hit a trailer. That puck's going to come all the way across the offensive end. And here come the Sharks in the other direction. Cutting out that threat was Tanoff as North Park dumps it right back into the offensive end. It's Grebin on the forecheck. It's the Sharks trying to get up and out of the zone. They're able to do so and enter the offensive zone. They fire in. Speaker's just going to gobble that one up with the glove. 3:32 left to go in this game. Another shot on goal for the visitors. Nothing more here, though, other than a defensive zone draw coming up for the home team. Well, this will be Meller, Samosi, Tanoff. And we'll see a late change here coming from the home bench. Tannenbaum onto the ice. Let's see, maybe he's just the fifth skater out there. Looks like he is. And so, puck's dropped. One by North Park. From Meller to Tannenbaum. Tannenbaum on the puck. Looking for Samosi. Samosi pulls that out of the air, and Hull send it forward in the offensive end. Kicked aside by the Sharks. Worked up to the point. Farrow able to keep the zone. Dumps it deeper for Meller. Meller on down to Samosi, who takes a hit. Puck rolls in front. Sharks steer it wide. Now North Park trying to get that puck into some open ice for a shot. Samosi onto the puck. He finds Tannenbaum there, but it's a great save by the Sharks. And with 3:02 left to go in this game, it's an offensive zone draw upcoming for North Park. Now it'll be Vigliotti, Farrow, Tannenbaum, Tanoff, and Finkelstein as the five skaters in white. Fired in. That puck sits in front. Tied up was North Park as that puck had bounded out front. This one should go for an icing. It does. With 2:53 left to go in this game, it's North Park trying to pour it on here. Tilting the ice, but not yet able to find the back of the net here in the second half. And so It's the Sharks with that 1-goal lead. Halpern, Tannenbaum, Vigliotti, Finkelstein, and Kluchek as the 5 skaters out there. The Sharks send this up off the boards and out of the zone. Turning is Halpern for the puck. Going to bound that off the boards and find Vigliotti, who settles it down. Vigliotti still on the puck, tries to touch it farther, finds Finkelstein. Finkelstein dumps in for Tannenbaum. Tannenbaum, long reach, able to carry that to the corner. He's got a man on him. 2 Sharks converge, and they're going to leave the zone with it. That puck all the way across. 2.5 minutes left to play here as the Sharks dump in. That puck comes off the end boards, and Halpern will pick up behind his own net. Halpern with a couple of teammates trying to skate in formation with him there. Going to work this all the way up to Tannenbaum in front of the camera well, who tries to find Keyworth streaking into the zone. It's North Park, though, keeping the zone, and it's feathered on down. That puck touched home by Keyworth. Oh, baby! Well, just like that, North Park finds its way back into this game. And it was a heck of a pass from Tannenbaum to Keyworth, whose initial shot was saved, but the follow-up was touched home. And so we've got ourselves a 3-3 hockey game late on here in Long Island City. Suing faceoff will be Grebin, Keyworth, Meller, Kluchek, and Halpern. Clean win by North Park. North Park fires that on up, but the Sharks able to send it right back in the other direction. That puck's going to be dumped on in. Puck sits in the offensive zone here for the Sharks. And now that puck's going to be bounded up into the neutral zone. Sharks will take over once more. They gain the line, dump on in. Just about 100 seconds left to play here at City Ice. No word on whether there'll be extra free hockey here or whether it'll be necessary. It's Grebin all the way down. And he thought he had gotten to it before the end line, but the officials thought differently, and so it will be a defensive zone draw here for North Park as we head toward the conclusion of this one. 1:34 left to play here in Queens. It's Meller at the dot. Sharks take that face-off win. They work it up to that far point, and they have it here. They fire in. Speaker with the save. He gets across, makes the follow-up save. Might have taken that one off the face mask. North Park now scrambling to get this puck up and out. They do. Comes between some skates. Might go for an icing, though. North Park living dangerously here on the icing, but I'm not sure they mind. They got the puck up and out of the zone after the scoring chance. That Speaker was able to save off the face mask, and so 1:17 left to play here. It's another defensive zone draw for the team in white. This will be Meller at the dot. Wins it over to the near half wall. That puck, though, tucked deeper by the Sharks at first. Bounded up by Grebin. Grebin now in full flight into the offensive zone. He leaves for Meller. Meller carries that wide, shoots in, kicked aside, comes back up toward Halpern, shot and scored! Oh, baby, it was Halpern on the shot after the nice save from the Sharks. It was Halpern who was able to tuck home from the near side, shoot and score, and reestablish the 1-goal North Park lead with 1 minute left to play here. Looks like we might have a timeout on the ice. Stick around. You paid for the whole seat, but you only need the edge here today from City Ice Pavilion. We'll be right back after this timeout.
Hockey fans, do you ever find yourself acting like, well, a hockey fan when you shouldn't? 9 out of 10 hockey fans admit to hockey fan behavior outside of the rink. From yelling at people dressed in black and white clothes to pounding on any glass they can find, hockey fans can have difficulty distinguishing good behavior from bad. That's why all of us at the Hockey Experts can help. We will show you that what may be appropriate at the rink is definitely not appropriate anywhere else. It's the Hockey Experts. Give us a call today. Don't use your own one phone call from jail. That should be your lawyer.
Hey folks, it's Rowdy Howdy here from Rowdy Howdy's Cars, Trucks, and SUVs. This weekend at Rowdy Howdy's, it's the Dog Days of Summer Sale. Come check out our fine automobiles while a pack of feral dogs checks you out. While legally we're no longer allowed to call these things cars, you should stop on by to chase some deals on these car-like products while the dogs chase you. It's the Dog Days of Summer Sale at Rowdy Howdy's, 1234 Fake Ad Boulevard, just off the highway, right past the biggest American flag you've ever seen. Rowdy Howdy's.
Well, it was a late Benjamin Halpern goal with 59.8 left that has seen North Park retake the lead here in Long Island City. And that last minute is underway here. It is Halpern on the puck at his own blue line, trying to send that all the way across toward Kluchek. Kluchek on the puck, and he'll whip it around the curved glass as North Park looks to get this puck out of the zone. They're unable to, but it was Kluchek who bodied that puck to the far corner. The Sharks back on the puck, firing in wide of the cage. 40 seconds left to play here as the Sharks try to dig it out of the corner, and North Park will send it up the near side of the ice. Still the Sharks on the puck, trying to get a shot off. They dump it deeper in the zone. That puck whipped around to the far side. Goalie pulled. 5-on-6 hockey here as North Park desperate to get this puck up and out. And that puck spilled in front. It sat there after Speaker had made the save, and it was touched home by the Sharks with 20 seconds left. And just like that, it's a 4-4 hockey game, if you can believe it. The Sharks able to tie it up late on. And so, right back to a tie game here from City Ice Pavilion. It was a save on the initial shot by Speaker, but then it ended up being touched in on the rebound. This will be Tannenbaum at the dot. It's Grebin working it down for Farrow. Farrow for Tanoff. That puck filtered forward. Sharks will take over in their own end. Just 10 seconds left to play here as Grebin tried to pick off a pass. The Sharks desperate to get this up and out. They do. Look out. There's enough time for a Shark shot here. It's the Sharks, but getting all the way across was North Park. And there goes the buzzer. And so the player's not quite sure exactly what's going to happen here, as we've got a tie hockey game. Nobody leaving the ice just yet, which indicates to me we may have some overtime here late on. Well, as soon as we get an idea of what's going to happen here and what kind of time is going to be put on the board, if it is truly an EJ game, it's going to be 5 minutes on the board, 4-on-4 hockey. And if nobody scores there, 5 more minutes put on the board with 3-on-3 hockey. So looks like you're in for some free ice hockey this afternoon, everybody, as we're going to overtime here late on. I guess definitionally, overtime's always late on. In any event, we'll see who North Park sends over the boards. This is Keyworth, Tannenbaum, and we'll see who might be out there as a defender for the team in white, as the officials just conferring with the scorekeeper far side of the ice to get the clock set here in Long Island City. All right. Looks like it's Keyworth, Halpern, Tannenbaum, and Farrow out there. On the ice, goaltenders being checked. 5 minutes on the board on your screen, 25 in the rink, but it'll be 5 minutes, I can promise you that. It's the Sharks winning that faceoff and carrying it to the far side of the ice. They'll dump in and give chase. Halpern turns for it at the end boards, carries it behind his net, stops, he'll skate this on out. A lot of open ice out there. for North Park as they possess the puck. 4-on-4 hockey. It's Tannenbaum all the way into the offensive end. Tannenbaum on the puck, looking for someone in front, looking for Halpern now up at the point. It's Halpern right back toward Tannenbaum. Tannenbaum calling for it in the middle is Keyworth, and Tannenbaum carries it to the near corner and turns with it. Tannenbaum still on the puck. Possession game is key in overtime as Tannenbaum has it, works it deeper for Keyworth. Keyworth across. It'll come up to Farrow. Farrow sends it on over to Tannenbaum. Back to Farrow. Farrow can step into one if he wants. Soft shot in. It's cut out by the Sharks. Look out. It could be a break in the other direction, but it's Tannenbaum who's able to get back and cut out the threat. It's the Sharks who are looking to get a break in the other direction, but now it's Tannenbaum curling toward the slot. Fires one, and that's kicked aside. Comes up to Halpern. That puck is deflected, never reaches the goal mouth. Tannenbaum has it back. Tannenbaum now in the top of the slot. On the forehand, fires in, goes just wide of the cage. On the bounce off the boards, Keyworth couldn't track it down. Farrow keeps the zone. Farrow still on the puck, spins with it. The Sharks will take over on that far side of the ice. It's now the Sharks dumping that puck on in. It's going to be racked all the way around to the near side where Halpern can pick it up. Behind his own net is Halpern. He's got Grebin out in front of him. Farrow as his defensive partner. Looking for the long pass is Meller. That puck's going to come up, but it'll go for an icing. And so, with 3:25 left to go in this overtime period, it's going to be a face-off all the way down in the North Park end. And this will be Tanoff and Kluchek as the defenders. Grebin and Meller as the forwards. And Meller at the dot, trying to win it back there toward Kluchek, who works that on up for Grebin. Grebin in full stride into the offensive end. Grebin there on the forehand. He stops at the corner, turns with it on the backhand. Grebin protecting the puck at the blue line, works it over to Tanoff. Fired in. That one's going to be gloved and held onto by the Sharks. And so just a shot on goal there from North Park, who has flipped the shots on goal from a minus to a plus, 37-34 right now in North Park's favor. Next goal wins. Meller at the dot, tries to chip it forward. Coming away with it are the Sharks, and they're going to get this puck up and out of the zone. Good stick lift across from Kluchek. Leaves the puck for Tanoff. Tanoff in the slot, fires in. That's blockered aside. Grebin to pick up the rebound. Sends it all the way across, and he's going to find Tanoff again. That one's blockered down, and Kluchek across to keep the puck in the zone. Fired deeper there by North Park. Well, that was a stray goal horn there, looking for a shot on goal instead. And so, with 2:39 left to go, we'll get just a stoppage in play on the Sharks icing. And a face-off all the way down in the Sharks' end. Well, this will be Halpern, Farrow, Tannenbaum, and Keyworth as the four skaters on the ice. Tannenbaum at the dot. Able to chip that over to the half wall. Keeping that puck toward the blue line was Farrow, and the Sharks are going to get a stick on it and dump on in. Farrow first to it at the end board. Sharks trying to chip it out front. Tannenbaum tries to pull it farther. Look out. Couple of sticks in the way from North Park prevent the Sharks from getting a shot on goal there. It's now North Park breaking out in the other direction. That's Tannenbaum in full flight. He's got Keyworth behind him. Tannenbaum across into the offensive end. Filters it farther for Keyworth. Keyworth stops, waits, tries to give and go with Tannenbaum there. And it was Farrow gumming up any breakout. And so the Sharks have to reset. But it's Keyworth picking off a pass in the slot. Keyworth, wrister, glove down nicely by the Sharks, and so we get a stoppage in play as North Park trying to find a way through with 1:53 left to go here in overtime. It's an offensive zone draw upcoming. It'll be Meller and Grebin on as the forwards. Halpern and Farrow as the defenders. Meller clean win toward Grebin. Grebin fires, kicked aside, toe save there from the Sharks. And it'll be Grebin picking it up, trying to send it out front for Meller. Instead, the Sharks able to see that puck roll off Meller's stick as they did some good defensive work. Sharks now look to get this puck up and out. Meller all over his man on that far side, but the Sharks do eventually find some room and send it up the right wing here. They'll touch it farther. Look out. It's a mini break here for the Sharks. They fire in. Speaker gets down, makes the save. Ensuing shot goes wide. This will be Farrow back in the other direction. Sharks able to get in the way of it. It's still the Sharks with the puck. They come in tight. Speaker makes the save. Rolling puck across. And this is North Park coming back in the other direction. It's Grebin on the puck. One-on-one with his man. Curls toward the slot. Still Grebin. He'll have to stop and delay. And then sends that puck just a bit deeper. The give and go connects. Grebin gets handcuffed just a bit by the return pass as the Sharks take a man into the corner and clear the zone. It's now Grebin able to dump that puck on in. And we're sure we missed a few shots on goal there, but trying to add a few to the board here as the Sharks will dump on in with 40 seconds left to go in this first overtime period. It's Kluchek picking up the puck, works it up toward Keyworth. Keyworth skates forward with it. Keyworth into the offensive end with speed. Still Keyworth goes past him and he shoots. Oh boy. Nearly home. Would have been a goal of the year candidate. Instead, it was saved nicely by the Sharks. Fired in once more by North Park. Sharks take over in their own end. They send it up and out of the zone. It's Kluchek, though, covering and turning it onto that far side. Fired in by Tanoff. 10 seconds left to go in this overtime period, as it'll be the Sharks sending it up toward Kluchek. Kluchek back on the puck. Fires it forward. Deflection carries it wide. 2 seconds and 1. There should be the buzzer. It is. And so, after the first overtime period, we're still knotted up at 4. And so we'll have some 3-on-3 hockey upcoming for the next 5 minutes, unless somebody scores first. Well, time enough to thank you for joining us here today at what's been a very entertaining hockey game. We thought it was an exhibition. Turns out it appears to be an EJ game here from Long Island City, and how. So 5 more minutes put on the board, and this will be 3-on-3 hockey here as we get ready to get rolling for this last overtime period. If it's all knotted up after 5 minutes, which you wouldn't expect given how this game has gone, but if it is, the game will end in a tie at that point. Regular season EJ games have 2 overtime periods, no more. And so, we'll see what twists and turns this one still has left. It was North Park scoring with a minute left to take a 1-goal lead, and the Sharks coming right back and scoring with 20 seconds left to force this one to overtime. And so it's Grebin, Halpern, and Tannenbaum out there as the 3 skaters in white. If you thought there was a lot of ice in the first overtime period, well, you weren't wrong. But there's only more ice out there now with 6 total skaters on the ice. This is Tannenbaum on the faceoff. Clean win back to Grebin. Grebin settles it for Halpern. Halpern on the puck. Shuffles it up toward Tannenbaum. Tannenbaum trying to find some time and space so that North Park can set something up. Carrying it back is Grebin. He's got a man all over him there. Grebin tries to cycle that puck up and out, but here come the Sharks. It's the Sharks on the puck. They fire that wide of the cage as that bouncing puck is captured by North Park. It's Halpern back in the other direction. Halpern into the slot. Thinks about a drop pass. Halpern looking for Grebin in front. Good stick work by the Sharks. A trailer is hit in Tannenbaum, who carries that puck to the end boards and then shuffles it up to Halpern. Halpern all the way across, looking for Grebin. Grebin carries that up to the blue line, and he'll dump in for Tannenbaum. Tannenbaum with a man on him, trying to get that puck out toward the front as the Sharks will take back over. Sorry there. As we're trying to get that camera centered for you, it's the Sharks with speed in the other direction. They fire that puck on in, but it's captured by Halpern. Halpern now looks up, trying to get that puck up toward Tannenbaum. Halpern has to circle at the logo. It's North Park into the offensive end. Still North Park. They make a change behind the play. Halpern settles that puck down. Keyworth on the ice. Halpern on the puck. Shuffles it over toward Grebin. Grebin pulls it off the boards. Grebin dumps it deeper for Keyworth. Keyworth now finds Grebin in the slot. Grebin on the backhand, tries to send it deeper. It's the Sharks sending it back in the other direction. Keyworth has the puck. He's got Halpern with some open ice. Keyworth stalks into the slot, leaves it there for Grebin. But it's the Sharks back in the other direction. Getting back is Halpern. It's a one-on-one here for the Sharks as they try to touch it farther. That puck's going to roll toward the end boards. Halpern bodies his man and gets on the puck. It's Halpern. 2 minutes into this second overtime now. Keyworth has the puck. Meller joins him on the ice. It's Keyworth on the puck on the far side in the offensive zone. Still Keyworth looking for a trailer in Kluchek. Sends it all the way across. It hits a shin guard. Pulling it off his stick is Meller. Meller on the puck. Carries it up to the blue line. There's Keyworth, side of the cage. He'll pick it up in that far corner. Still Keyworth trying to carry it farther, but instead, it's the Sharks back in the other direction. They're now one-on-one with Meller. Sharks into the offensive end, looking to set something up all the way top of the slot. The Sharks have the puck. Far side in front of North Park's bench. They shoot in wide of the cage. They were trying the near side. It's still the Sharks firing in. Speaker able to cover that one up and then play it and leaves it for Meller there. 2.5 minutes left to go in this game as Kluchek gets that pass from Meller. He's got Tannenbaum in front. It's Kluchek all the way into the offensive end. He fires in. That's kicked aside by the Sharks netminder. A shot aside so far. It's one-on-one right back in the other direction. Sharks with the puck carrying to the side of the cage. They'll blow a tire over there, and North Park will pick back up. And North Park cycles it deeper to try and set something up for Kluchek. Kluchek behind his own cage. 2:03 left to go in this game as Kluchek has the puck. Works it up for Grebin. Grebin on the puck. Curls with it. He's got Tannenbaum in front. Kluchek to the bench as North Park makes a bit of a change. It's now Grebin on the puck trying to send it to the slot. They shoot. They score! Well, it was North Park taking it in the last moments of this game on a rebound. And the celebration ended up in front of the Sharks bench. And of course, that will always lead to some disagreement. But for North Park, all's well that ends well. And truly, it's a shame to have the teams upset at each other as the goaltenders shake hands. And it was nice to see. What a wonderful hockey game. Always sad to see a game like that end because it was absolutely an amazing game as the handshake line starts. A wonderful tradition. And so we've gone final here at City Ice Pavilion. It's North Park 5, the Long Island Sharks 4. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time right here on Midnight Sports.